Hi, welcome back. Friday. Wrapping up the week with a classic album by the Rolling Stones. Now, this album came out in 2005, so it's been quite a while. We're talking, 18 years? And it was the last album of new material the Stones released. The last album that Charlie Watts played on. Now, the reason I thought of this album was because I did hear 2023 they're expecting a new release again. In between, we've had a release of an album of cover tunes, but not all new material. The album I'm talking about is A Bigger Bang. As you can tell, we're using the picture in a picture. Couldn't find my CD. You can imagine with all the CDs kicking around, I've lost track of it. But it used to be a great one that I would carry with me often in the car. Now, car stereo not working so well, not hearing it as often. But it was a great CD, and again, the last one that Charlie Watts played on. Now, this one also was unique a little bit because, obviously we got the main players. We've got Mick Jagger, we've got Keith Richards, we've got Ron Woods, but Ron Woods doesn't play on all the tunes. I think it said here he plays on about maybe 10 of the 16 songs on there, so he wasn't playing all the time. And Mick Jagger playing bass on here, you can imagine. I remember the album too because this was just about the time the Rolling Stones played halftime ceremony for the Super Bowl. One of the last great halftimes that I really enjoyed, right, with this. And there was one song they did in there, and they had to do some bleeping and editing out. And, couldn't have that on national TV. So it was kind of unique from that way, but great to see the Stones doing the Super Bowl thing. Anyways, great album. Let's just take a look at some of the information on here. Went platinum in the U.S., sold over 546,000 in the U.S. alone as of March 2006, and a lot of years have passed since then. 2.4 million copies worldwide. Great selling album. Excuse me. But for some reason, a long dry spell, 18 years in between before they crank out some new material. And they've been touring all along, right? You always see them on tour, but not new material. Excuse me again. So let's just take a look and see what we've got on here for songs. Some of them may ring a bell. I don't think it got as much airplay as some of the old ones. And again, people go to the concert, they want to hear the old tunes, right? Now, Mick Jagger, let me just go back here a minute and find out where it was. Playing harmonica, vibraphone, keyboards, slide guitar. Goodness gracious, what is he not playing? Keith Richards, guitar, backing vocals. He did lead vocals on two songs. One called This Place Is Empty, and the other is Infamy. So, Keith getting a little bit of a chance to get out front. Now, I was hoping maybe one of these days to go back and look at actually some of Keith's albums. We'll see how that turns out in a little bit. We've got Charlie Watts on drums on all tracks, and Ron Wood slide guitar on Rough Justice and Let Me Down Slow. And then guitars on a number of other tunes here. Here's the track listing. Rough Justice, Let Me Down Slow, Won't Take Long, Rain Fall Down, Streets of Love, Back of My Hand, She Saw Me Coming. And I think that to me that's a great tune. That Biggest Mistake, This Place Is Empty, Oh No, Not You Again. Another great tune that should be in their set list all the time. It really was a lot of fun. Dangerous Beauty, Laugh, I Nearly Died, Sweet Neocon, Look What the Cat Dragged In, Driving Too Fast, and Infamy. Over an hour's worth of music. And again, original tunes. You don't see that much right now. First single was Streets of Love, Rough Justice. It was the first thing in the letter there. There were some other songs on there that were great. When I bought the album, I didn't know any of them. So I had that treat of discovering the whole album as a brand new entity. And I mentioned that before, especially with people like John Mayall, Delbert McClinton, Van Morrison, people that don't get a lot of airplay. When you listen to the album, you get to pick what you like. You get to hear the whole thing with fresh ears, and it's not like you've been pre-programmed. That happens so many times when you hear it on the radio or, some of these ones on the video shows they used to have. You kind of got keyed into the hits, as it were, and didn't really give the other songs a fair shake. This was an album, again, I bought Stone Cold, didn't know anything about it other than it was new Rolling Stones. And to me, it's right up there with one of my favorites, Sticky Fingers. I mean, those are two what I consider the best Stones albums for me, what I liked. So this was really a classic. I used to carry it in the car with me all the time. It was really a treat. I know we got new Stones coming up. I don't know what the lineup's going to be for that one. But again, this one is unique because last Charlie Watts album. So that's it to check out for the weekend. We always like to have some fun music to listen to. Can't go wrong with Rolling Stones. Crank it up, take a look. I looked on the one streaming network. I have a hard time finding it. Yeah, maybe on the other ones. This album didn't seem to end up in the streaming networks the same as some of the other more greatest hits related albums or some of the earlier albums. But if you can find it, it's well worth checking out. Bigger Bang, Rolling Stones. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday. Until then, take care and stay safe. Thanks for stopping by.